Hello and welcome back in Győr, Hungary. I don't know if you were with us just before. We know the game for the final tomorrow in the women's event. It will be Italy against the Netherlands. We are now waiting to know what will the men's final look like. And the first semi-final is just here, just about to start in a few minutes. It's the one between Ukraine and Germany. Well, it's not a lot to say that these two teams know each other perfectly. Ukraine in blue is undefeated so far. They were playing in Group A, 5 pool stage win. They only lost 1 set to Croatia in that group stage. Yesterday, well, they had some difficulties to beat the Netherlands. They had to save some set points at some point, but again, they were able to win the game 3-0 to qualify for the semi-final. Germany, well, as well, let's say they have almost a perfect streak so far. The only game they lost was against Bosnia and Herzegovina in Group B. And we're not quite sure Germany played this game fully. Maybe they want to keep some secret for later this week. Otherwise, they did not lose a single set. They played Latvia, the Netherlands, Serbia, Italy. Yesterday, Croatia in the quarterfinals. They are a really strong side. They finished 4th last year in the Paralympic Games in Paris, only defeated by Egypt for the bronze medal game. Ukraine finished 7th at last year's Paralympics. They finished 4th at the recent Golden Nations League. They were on the podium for 2 years in Kaole, 3rd. Of course, they want to see the final again, but it will not be easy against such a strong team from Germany. Some players stopped after the Paralympic Games. We think about Jürgen Trapp, elected president of Wall Para Volley, but also Francis Tonle is not here. Most of the players were part of the roster in Paris last summer. We'll see if Germany is able to confirm their great form, their great streak. They finished 2nd at home of the recent Golden Nations League, only defeated at the tiebreak by Bosnia and Herzegovina. As well, they want to be into the final. They want to take revenge against Bosnia and Herzegovina, but they will first have to focus on this game against Ukraine. You see the two teams? Official warm-up is almost over. We'll still have the two teams serving now. There's a lot of very good players on both sides of the net. Ukraine will play in blue, Germany in red. And we were talking about liberos in the previous game. Ukraine play... Oh, they do have a libero there, yeah. Yuri Kowalczuk, the two teams have a libero. Tim Linke for Germany. I couldn't see Kowalczuk on court, but he's just not willing to receive during this warm-up moment. Well, let's say, since this morning we already had a couple of surprises, especially in the first semi-final of the women's tournament. We just avoid balls during warm-up because we're just behind the players. Surprise came from the Netherlands defeating Slovenia. Then Italy had what we qualify as an easy semi-final against Ukraine. Of course, they did the job perfectly well, but they were almost never in trouble against Ukraine this morning. Can Ukraine get another surprise here against Germany? Because when we see and when we look at the recent history between these two teams, the 3 last games they played against each other, Germany won each time. Nothing was easy. Of course, they had a 3-0 victory in the recent Golden Nations League, but before, they only won 3-2 in the Golden Nations League 2024. But also, when these two teams met in Kaole for 2 years in the European Championship, Germany needed to go to the tiebreak. Stefan Henlein with number 5, one of the most experienced player of this German roster. Of course, he was part of the journey last year in France. At some point, we could imagine that Germany was able to win a medal, but they were facing a very strong team from Egypt in the final game. I mean, their final game, the bronze medal game. Ukraine do have a strong starting 6. They also have options on the bench for substitutions. Led by one of their best players, the captain, best scorer so far in the competition for Ukraine, Denis Bytchenko. And here are the two teams on court of this center court here in Győr. Lot of German fans in the stands. A bit less for Ukraine, but they will have the support of the women's team after shower. We will go through a traditional handshake between the staff members. Cute smiles between Pavlo Miklik and Christoph Herzog. Well, they know each other perfectly. They met a lot of time in different competitions. Good luck to everyone. The purpose is very easy. Both Ukraine and Germany want to be tomorrow in the final of this 2025 European Championships. One very young player for Germany who just joined the roster, Karl Kuba, 15 years old. I'm not sure I could see him on court so far. And the two international referees for this game are just being introduced in the center of the court. Mirza Bazic and Haris Elac, two referees coming from Bosnia and Herzegovina.
And now it's time to meet the starting players of the team.
Starting 6.
First, the starting lineup of Ukraine.
And we'll start with Ukraine.
With number 2,
Ruslan Hoyakin, Yevgeny Korinets,
team captain is Denis Bytchenko.
Denis Bytchenko,
7, Maxim Petrenchuk.
Maxim Petrenchuk,
Prycepa.
Roman Prycepa,
17, Oleksiy Karmalov.
Oleksiy Harlamov, and the libero Yuri Kovalchuk.
Head coach of the team is Pavlo Miklik.
Well, they have a lot of options.
And now the starting lineup of Germany. With number 1, Alexander Schiffler.
For Germany, Alexander Schiffler,
With number 5,
Heiko Wiesenthal, Stefan Henlein,
Dominik Marcel Albrecht.
Dominik Albrecht,
Number 12, Matis Stiegler.
Matis Ziegler, the best server and best blocker of this team with the number 12. Torben Shiva, the captain, 40 years old, and the libero, young libero of that German team, Team Linke. Only 22 years old for him. And you just see the rosters of the team on your screen. A lot of names that we know pretty good in sitting volleyball. A lot of very experienced players on both sides of the net. Germany is a slight favorite in this semi-final. But you know exactly what it is about today. Go into the final or go home. or most precisely into the bronze medal game tomorrow, but no one wants to play that game. They want to be into the big final, either against Serbia or Bosnia and Herzegovina. This will be later today. Good set for Petranchuk. And the first point for Germany. This ball is called out. And will they be a challenge on the very first point of this game? The answer is yes. So did they challenge for a net touch or for a ball in or out? It's not quite the same. And we will have the answer pretty soon on the screen. So we have the screen that you see, but also the big screen here in the venue. They have a decision. And the ball is in. It's on the line. Point for Ukraine. Well done by the Ukrainian staff to call a challenge. Prishepa. Serve is very good. Aiko Wiesenthal, dig. Bychenko. Is there any touch? Yes. Strong start for Ukraine. Roman Prishepa, the oldest of the two Prishepa brother, with an ace. And that's the third point in a row for Ukraine. This one is out directly in our commentating position, but there is no damage. It just came super fast. Dominik Albrecht for Germany. Good reception by the Ukrainian libero. He's already taking that ball again. Bychenko. Good block, Germany. The back set for Wiesenthal. Kharlamov just reacting too late. Schifler, dig by Ukraine. Bychenko with a spinny ball on Albrecht. Well, he's not the best digger. His job is more when he's at the front row to block a lot and to spike really high. One of the tallest players this week here in Hungary. 4-2 Ukraine. Reception's really good. The set for Schifler. And Bychenko cannot dig that one. High ball, Albrecht from the back row. This ball is into the net. And Ukraine still has the lead. 5 points to 3. Wiesenthal for Albrecht. Monster block, Kharlamov. He is one of the big guys when sitting in the front row to block the German attacks. Schifler, blocked by Korinets. Albrecht with the spinny one. So difficult to do something at the block. This ball is just so much spinning. Stefan Henlein. Germany is 2 behind in this first set. Free ball, Germany. Bytchenko from position 2, dig, Tigla. He finds some space between Korinets and the antenna to score Germany's 5th point of that set. Bytchenko again, lifting is called against Schiffler. Well, that's a shame that Germany had to do some lifting here because Bytchenko was a lot to the outside of the court. It was difficult for him to bring the ball back in play. Schiffler for the set. Block on Tigler. Hachlamov for Korinets. One arm dig for Bytchenko, another dig. And Petranchuk had a great dig, just too much into the net. Another good block for Germany. Torben Schiever, the captain, leading the way to find this equalizer. 7-all in the first set. Przyczepa and Tigler with the great block. Back set for Kharlamov, touched by the block. Back set for Albrecht. Another good block for the Ukrainian, number 17. Already his 2nd winning block today. Good counter block from Tigla on Przyczepa. Well, this Ukrainian roster is almost the same than the one we had last year in Paris. Only one player is a newcomer, Nazar Timoshko, replacing Anatoly Andruzenko. He's 61 years old, Andruzenko, so it was time for him to retire from the national selection. Another good block. Germany is just stronger at the block for the moment in this first set. Przyczepa fights, but he gets caught for a net fault. Reception, Kharlamov, Bytchenko from the back row. What a fight, what a point for Germany with Tigler again. Well, I will try to have a look at individual statistics if it's working, but Tigler already scored a lot today. And with this 4 points lead for Germany, Ukraine take the first time out. Yeah, Tigler is the best scorer with 4 already. And the best scorer for Ukraine so far is the captain, Denis Bytchenko. Nothing surprising, he is the best scorer so far. after the 6 first games of Ukraine. Well, Ukraine clearly underdog in this semi-final. Even if they got undefeated, they had maybe quite an easier group stage than Germany did. Lifting called against Roman Prishchepa. Pechenko from the back row is Zidik for Schifla. And this first touch from Pechenko is just a bit too low. And we'll have a first substitution for Ukraine with Dmytro Melnik coming in for Roman Prishchepa. And you hear the German fans are just super happy with the start in this first set from the Mannschaft. Good block again, Wiesenthal and Tigla. Harlamov block out on Albrecht. And there will be some video challenge. So basically the point was given to Germany apparently, but I'm pretty sure the ball touched Albrecht's forearms. Block touch, yes or no? Yes, of course, the point is for Ukraine. We had a cover with the foot. The point is still going. Good block again. Heiko Wiesenthal. While Ukraine was not in the best position with Dmytro Melnik being completely under the German block. Free ball Germany. Torben Schiever, back set for Wiesenthal. Substitution. The VS2-1 for Ukraine. Maxim Petrenchuk out. Alexander Drapak in. Tigla with an ace. And the situation is not improving for Ukraine. Germany now has an 8-point lead in this first set. Monster block in front of Dominik Albrecht. Well, he was a bit far away from the net. And it made things a bit easier for the block. He couldn't play any kind of block out. Albrecht blocked by Bichenko again. Small tip behind the block. Clever Heiko Wiesenthal. Was this 8-point lead for Germany. We'll go into the second timeout for Ukraine. They need to fix something, if not for this first set, at least for later today. Well, I'm pretty sure you know the rule, but you need to win 3 sets. First team to score 25 points wins the set. And since we are into this semi-final, team that will win the semi will be tomorrow in the big final. 4 p.m. It will be either against Serbia or against Bosnia and Herzegovina. This will be the game we will follow next. The 4th semi-final of this event. Albrecht for the serve. Blocked by Drapak. Lifting called against the Ukrainian middle blocker. High serve was deep into the court to avoid the blockers. Too greedy on that serve. Ruslan Horyakin. Alamov set for Drapak. And Schiffler just doing too good. Reacting so quick at the net. That's a 10-point lead now for Germany. That's a huge difference. And they put Petranchuk back in. Because Drapak is not able to bring any kind of solution. And he will sit on the bench again. Bytchenko directly on the camera of the video challenge. Not quite sure this one is still on the line now. Someone will definitely fix that. 21 for Germany, 12 for Ukraine. An easy spinny ball, but Ukraine was just digging too deep into the court. Stefan Henlein. Difficult ball for Kochenets to play. Albrecht from the back row. Bytchenko takes the ball. Not a great dig by Germany. Free ball Ukraine. Well, that's a lifting from Schiffler. Of course it is. Third point for Germany. They are only 2 points away from getting this first set. It was a very comfortable lead. The dig with the foot by Albrecht. The ball is alive. It would be crazy that Germany scores this point. Albrecht did everything. The dig with the foot, the monster block. And this is a first set point for Germany now. Schiffler fights this ball back. Dig Albrecht. The ball is still in the air, but Tigler could not control his ball touch. The first set point is saved, but what about the next 10? Germany has 10 more. Good swing through the middle. Ruslan Hoyakin. Good fight at the net. Tigler cannot make the point now. Mitro Melnik had to overpower his swing. The ball was too much to the outside. And Germany takes the first set, 25-15. Well, this was pretty quick in this first semi-final. Well, the question now is to see if Ukraine is able to have some kind of reaction, because at the very beginning of the game they started well. Because they took the first 2 or 3 points off the game, off the set, and then suddenly Germany started to play a lot better. Dominik Albach did really good in this first set. Let's have a quick look at the individual statistics. Schiffler has 5, Wiesenthal has 5, Tigler as well. 4 points for Albrecht. And for Ukraine, Bitchenko has 4. While Ukraine had a lot of unforced. I mean, a lot, not quite a lot, but more than Germany. Some point when Germany plays quicker, it's super hard for Ukraine to hold the rhythm. Well, Germany has the first advantage in this first semi-final in the men's tournament. 12 teams were involved here in Győr the entire week. At the very beginning we had a group stage, 2 groups of 6 teams each. The 4 first were qualified for the quarterfinals. Both Germany and Ukraine did this very successfully. Yesterday, Ukraine defeated the Netherlands in the quarterfinals. And Germany won 3-0 against Croatia. Maybe Croatia is a good point to compare both teams, because when Ukraine played Croatia in their opening game, they had to lose 1 set. Actually, the only one they lost. It's only the second set they lost in the entire competition. Now against Germany. And same starting 6 for Ukraine in this second one. We'll start with the best server, Roman Prishepa. First ball is for Heiko Wiesenthal. Block out Albrecht. Hoyakin was a bit wondering if he had to block the line or to block Position 6. And when he changed his mind at the last moment, Albrecht came back on the line to play this block out. There's a video challenge. Well, if it's on a net touch, then on the block touch, then the answer is pretty easy. We were on the perfect line. Yes, he did touch Oryakin's forearm. I thought that was quite obvious, but apparently we had to go through a challenge. Tigler a bit too low on his serve. What a swing by Dominik Albrecht. Kowalczyk got almost hit in the head. Well, the block has to do better. So the libero is not such a target. They have to close the line when Albrecht is there sitting in 2. Harlamov plays the block out, but I guess the ball touched him again on the way back from the block. From the back row, Dominik Albrecht, the point is for Ukraine. And they are in contention. Maxim Petrenchuk on Tigla. Kalamov is ready to block. Free ball Ukraine. Petrenchuk for Kalamov. Heiko Wiesenthal just touched the ball. Back set for Wiesenthal. He finds a solution in front of Bitchenko. Hoinets for Bitchenko in front of 2 blockers. Is this one in? No. Well, Germany was almost celebrating. They're quite sure this ball landed in, and they will call the challenge. In or out. Or just out for a couple of centimeters. This point is for Ukraine. Five-all. Captain Denis Bitchenko. Good serve, easy reception for Tigla. Albrecht with the swing from the back row. Again, he's not able to keep this ball into the playing area. Schiffler finds the solution, even if the set was a lot towards the outside. Able to control that swing. With a great wrist action. Good block, Corey Nets. A bit of marking on the German side of the court. Ukraine is in front. Alexei Halamov just out. Lutsenko block out on Albrecht. Wessel Tigler took the ball on the other side of the net. 9 points to 7, a 2-point lead for Ukraine. Koinets with the serve. What a strong swing for Dominic Albrecht. I mean, if you're not on the way at the block, then it gets super difficult to dig behind him. He's playing at a great level. Strong spikes. Very interesting. Bichenko for Hochinets will stay in the back row for Ukraine. A lifting call against Roman Prishepa. Well, quite surprising. I had the feeling this time he was pretty good, but Harry Selac is probably in much better position and essentially better skilled than me to judge any kind of lifting. Torben Shiva for the serve. Who will take this ball? Hoyaking fights, Petranchuk fights, but Germany is doing good. The ball is alive. Bichenko conclude that point. For Ukraine, 10 for Germany in this second one. Tigler. Bichenko removed his hand. He was maybe imagining that Tigler will spike super hard out of bounds, but he just pushed the ball. Maybe he saw Bichenko not putting any block in front of him. Well, Albrecht, he decided to go for the block, and it's successful. Germany again is in front. Good block, Henline. Bichenko, one more chance. Bit greedy on the angle. He wanted to avoid the block at all costs. Lifting called against Petrenchuk. I mean, against Albrecht, when they want to block him, it's really close, but they have almost to lift because he's just so high. Petrenchuk, good swing. Well, Stefan Henlein sent this ball directly on the Ukrainian side of the net. Good block, Harlamov in front of Wiesenthal. That's an equalizer for Ukraine. 14-all. Wiesenthal digged. Bichenko. Touched by the block. Albrecht. Petrenchuk with the block. Back set for Harlamov. It's a catch ball against Petrenchuk. Well, this set is much closer than the first one. Germany took quite an easy lead at some point, and they finally won the set 25-15. Ukraine is still in contention in the second one. Horyakin from the back row. Oh, this is a model of miss-hit from Horyakin, and that's a shame, because this gives Albrecht another opportunity to serve. Tigla, good reflex. Wiesenthal wanted to play some kind of block out, but with the lifting, this point is for Ukraine. Schiffler, full swing. Wiesenthal, point is for Ukraine. No one touched this ball at the block. It just stayed under the net level. Schiffler finds a solution despite two blockers. we will go on the way. One ball was rolling behind Henline. Petrenchuk for the reception. Przyczepa, well, he was playing the block out for sure. And they will go into some timeout on the Ukrainian side, because it's been a long time that Germany did not have a 3-point lead, but they have it now. 19-16 in the second set. Well, this was the catch against Petrenchuk. And Albrecht is the best scorer on court with 10 points. Only player with double digits. Wiesenthal and Schiffler are pretty close with 9 points each. Butchenko from the back row, good dig, Henline. Good job by the German block again. There is a lifting called, and they touched the ball. It was a block out anyway. And Ukraine never gives up on fighting. They are only 2 behind. Halamov. Petrenchuk, big by Germany, good block, Przyczepa. Touched by the captain, Torben Schiever, in position 3. Substitution for Germany was Matti Stiegler leaving the court, and in comes Magnus Fischer. They want to increase a bit the height at the block, even if Stiegler is such a good blocker. Or better, increase the height for the spike and switch that rotation. And they do this in a brilliant way as the first ball and first point for Magnus Fischer. Harlamov from the back row. Fischer, one arm block by Przyczepa. Albrecht on the line. Harlamov was there. He took it on his left shoulder. It's just too strong again. Przyczepa through the middle, very strong. But it cost Ukraine just so much energy and effort to score each point. Good fight at the net. Albrecht with the spike. This ball is out. And Ukraine is only one behind. Can Yevgeny Korinets have a good serve now to find some kind of equalizer? In the middle, Prishepa with the tip. But Sonia Scholten would call the helicopter landing area. It was great to have her as an expert in the previous semi-final. 21-all. Timeout, Germany. Korinets, 21-all. If Ukraine can take the lead now. Schiffler overpowers that one. And this is the lead for Ukraine now. Maybe at the best moment, 22-21. Albrecht, very good block. I don't know what was Korinets' idea, but he just aimed at the tallest blocker from Germany. Torben Shiva. Halama for the reception, connection to the middle. Oryakin covering with the shoulder. Prishepa not able to have better than a soft swing. And Magnus Fischer. It's this 23rd point for Germany. Ukraine has one more timeout. So does Germany. Pytchenko from the back row. And Albrecht again. It's the great reflex. And the 24th point, of course, they will use timeout on that set point. Well, we said Ukraine maybe did the most difficult, taking the lead 22-21 earlier before. But then Germany had a good streak in the last 3 points to score. And it started with a great block by Dominik Albrecht on the block. And of course, he increased his own statistics with that block. I guess he scored maybe 2 more. He has 13 now. And he's leading the way in terms of scored points by a player. Set point Germany. Torben Shiva, the captain. Horyakin. Is there any touch? Well, they will challenge the call. It's a set point, so it makes sense to challenge it. But apparently, this will be a second set for Germany. The answer in a few seconds on the big screen. So the result in a few seconds. Block touch, yes or no? No block touch. Germany is in front. 2-0 against Ukraine in this first semi-final. (25-15), Ukraine showed a much better form in this second one. They only lost 25-22, which could be promising for the third set. But now the deal is super easy for them. They absolutely need to win the 3 next sets if they want to be tomorrow in the big final. Well, they will play some medal match, whatever, either bronze or gold. But no worry, if can achieve being in the big final, they will try to do so. While some other games around in the venue, on court number 1, we have some game between Poland and Turkey in the men's tournament. This is a game for the classification to see what the final ranking will be. The game between Croatia and the Netherlands on court number 3 is just over, and we will get prepared for the next one. If I see properly, this will be Germany women against Poland. And then we'll have one more game on court number 1. Could be that this will be the French women's team. I can see some of them warming up there. And they will play, or maybe against Hungary. Could be. Well, anyway, if you want to watch any other game, you will find a dedicated link on the Volleyball Europe YouTube channel. Pretty sure you are used to it and you know exactly how to do so. If you want to follow the action, you are more than welcome to stay with us here for this first semi-final of the men's tournament. And of course, I will be again with you later today after this semi-final. For the last semi-final between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Serbia. Well, it's nothing to say that Bosnia and Herzegovina is huge favorite in the second semi-final. But as always, when we talk about sports, almost everything is possible. 2-0 for Germany, and I just said everything is possible. And we can still have Ukraine being able to completely change this game, but it's now or never for the men in blue. First serve, Matis Tigla into the net. Albrecht, good swing, his first point of this third set. He found some space between the two blockers. Bychenko was closing the line, but Petrenchuk could not come close enough to have a real wall. Well, the good thing with Bychenko is that he always has a smile. Ace Germany for Albrecht. Good block by Germany. Schiffler and Henlein clothing everything. 3-1 for die Mannschaft. Bychenko. That's a good point for Ukraine. I mean, they just need to feed him with more good sets. But for that, they need a better reception, better situations. Wiesenthal for Schiffler. Schiffler again. Well, no chance for Bychenko to get that ball. It was into Mirza Basic, the first referee of that game. 4-2 Germany. Heiko Wiesenthal. Ball is out. Petrenchuk for Hachlamov. Well, Germany is never ever giving up. One first time, they just covered on the ball that was almost on the floor. And on that point, again, they were super close to have the miracle cover. Albrecht with the help of the net. Good dig by the Ukrainian libero. Schiffler, another great dig. Bychenko for the set. Petrenchuk with the help of the net. He shows the muscles. But this was not about a strong spike. It was about the net helping the ball to fall on the floor in front of Tigler and Albrecht. But that's good as well. Schiffler. That was some kind of flipper between Hachlamov and Kochenets. Net fault against Kochenets. Seven points to 4 for Germany. Stefan Henlein. Good counter block by Shiva. Hachlamov. Libero gives a free ball to Germany. Shiva for Tigler. I have the feeling this swing was directly into the antenna. Of course, if the ball touched the antenna, it's considered as out. This was nothing powerful, but just in between Horyakin and Bychenko. Bychenko took the dig. He was not able to control the ball. And Germany is leaving with a 2-point lead. 8-6 in this third set. If you're just joining the action, daily 2-0. Not a great block, Shiva, Albrecht. I mean, Germany is just stronger at the block today. Not to say a lot stronger. But I have the feeling they scored at least twice more block than Ukraine did. We'll check this in the statistics pretty soon. Harlamov Another time Germany has time to organize. Good block. Przyczepa. Ball is out. So Ukraine scored 6 blocks in total, 3 for Kharlamov, and Germany had 10. So not quite twice as more, but we're close from that kind of statistic. And of course, that's the difference. Once again, Przyczepa is too greedy. He wants so bad to score the point. He goes full power, but not enough spin. Well, this time he scores on the block. 7 for Ukraine, 11 for Germany. It's still a long way to get the ticket for the final. But Germany is happy to have this 4-point lead in the third set. No one to take that reception. Ace between Schiffler and Henline. Great ace for Alexei Kharlamov, the oldest player of this roster alongside Oryakin, who is 47 years old. A great area. Good reception by Schiffler. A bit of luck for Dominik Albrecht, and he was really happy to score that point. Torben Schiever. Target is Kharlamov. Pichenko is achieved. The back set for Albrecht. This is just so perfect from Germany. Well, they are so much in control so far. Kharlamov again for the reception. Przyczepa, monster block. Heiko Wiesenthal. And I have the feeling Ukraine will call a timeout or do a substitution first. Dmytro Melnik is in for Roman Przyczepa. Well, not very happy Przyczepa. Recently on court, he was not able to find the right solutions. He is a very good player, but Germany is just so well organized when it comes to block defense. Melnik blocked by Tigla. Back set for Wiesenthal. Grytchenko. This ball is out. He took the swing from the back row. And this time, a timeout called by Pavlo Miklik. Well, 7-point deficit for Ukraine now. I mean, Grytchenko still has the smile, but it's a difficult period for Ukraine on court. And it's really tough to imagine what would be the solution or the solutions. Maybe they need more than just one to reverse that game. And let's use this timeout to thank all the partners involved in this event. Molten for the balls, GER for the playing surface, Manageport for IT solutions and the websites, and Sportec for the equipments dedicated to setting volleyball with the posts and the net. One thank you to all of these partners. Shiva with a great serve. Ace for Germany. And this is now an 8-point lead. Alamov for the reception. Good cover. Wiesenthal. Block out Melnik. Well, that's the reason why he's on court. To try to make a difference here in position 3. Schiffler with the reception. Wiesenthal coming from his receiving position. Albrecht through the middle. Well done. Again, he's impressive, and today's efficiency for Albrecht is really high. He did not need a lot of balls to score a lot of points. And that's really cool to see him playing at that level. There was maybe some double touch from Melnik. I had the feeling, yes. That's also the decision of Mirza Basic. 18 for Germany, 10 for Ukraine. Let's agree on 1 point. Germany is getting closer and closer from a spot into the final. But Ukraine will fight till the very end. No doubt on that point. Melnik is the next one in charge for the serve. Block out Dominik Albrecht. Well done by the German giant. With just subtle look on his standing on court. And of course, he has some impressive block and spike height. Substitution for Germany is Stefan Henlein leaving the court and Tom Wannemacher in. 20 points today for Albrecht. This is impressive. Schiffler. Germany is pushing harder and harder. 22-11. Ukraine still has a timeout. If this can help, Butchenko just gave everything he had on that swing, but it's out. 21-11. Not even sure this was a block from Orjakin. It was maybe just under the net level from Dominik Albrecht. 38 years old for the VS2 player of this German roster. One of the two alongside Florian Singer. Ruslan Orjakin. Touched by the block. Wannemacher. Blocked by Khachlamov. But isn't it too late for Ukraine? Germany only needs 4 more points to go into the final. Albrecht finds the solution with some softball over the block. Butchenko with the point. Well, why not? But Germany still has 2 timeouts. Not a good point for Ukraine. And at some point, Christoph Herzog will be quite annoyed. Well, before considering going into a timeout, he will put Stefan Henlein back in for Vannemarcher, because the Ukrainian streak started since Vannemarcher is in. It's not his fault, absolutely not what I mean, but that's just a fact. And he comes back to Henlein, blocking in position 3. He takes a set for Albrecht. Yevgeny Korinets a bit surprised. He had his defensive movement even before the ball came, and then the ball finally landed on his belly. 22 for Germany, 15 for Ukraine. Harlamov not able to have this ball over the net. And Ukraine will maybe not even take their second timeout. Apparently, they pretty much accepted the result. Wiesenthal blocked, counter block by Shiva. Harlamov blocked by Henlein. Albrecht from the back row, scoring this 24th point for Germany. This is a match point for the German team, and Ukraine will not take the timeout. We will go into that match point. Wiesenthal. The dig from Albrecht with the foot. Net touch Schiffler. Oh, and lifting called against Schiffler. 24-16. You can hear the entire German bench helping the team to get that last point and the spot into the final. Albrecht with the conclusion. Germany will play the final tomorrow. Will it be against Bosnia and Herzegovina? Will it be against Serbia? The answer in our very last game of the day. This will be in a few minutes, let's say a bit more than half an hour, because these two teams will need to warm up on court. Congratulations, Germany. We'll see them again into the final tomorrow. Ukraine will play for the bronze medal game. Well, there was a huge difference between the two teams today. A well-deserved victory for Germany, 3-0. Germany is qualified, and we will be back soon together for the last game of today, the second semi-final in the men's tournament. See you soon.